If you don't know Jenny's ice cream, it's really delicious, unique, artisanal ice creams. Really has a cult following. It's amazing. Jenny, when I asked her her biggest mistake throughout her career, she said at the very beginning, she was making ice cream for her own palate, which she thought was delicious. And she would put it out, and what sold, and what didn't. But she didn't pay attention, Lori, to the data that they wanted darkest chocolate all the time, and that if the customer showed up and you hadn't made a batch, they would get angry and actually somewhat revolt a little bit against your brand. And in her heart, she's an artist, so she wants to cook. She wants to create what she loves. And it was several years before she kind of reconciled that tension between what she wanted to do versus what the customer wanted. How has that played out in your career, or has it?
It has, and it's very simple. I don't care. I don't. I'm lucky enough to be in a position where you come to the restaurant for the experience, right? And we are a tasting menu only. And that's the beauty of it, right? If I changed every single time somebody said something about my food, what foundation do I have to stand on as a chef? Right? I can never move forward because this guy said it was too salty, it needs more acid, it needs sweetness, it needs this, and I don't like this. And if I change it every single time, what do I stand with? I have nothing. So I've always felt, as a young cook, if I'm going to put a dish on the menu, I don't care what anybody says. Sure, it hurts every once in a while, but I have to trust my own instinct and go with, and not deviate, not for anybody, to do what I love to do. And that's it. Like, take it or leave it. But I'm in a unique position to be able to do that. Because you're already in my dining room, and you're going to get what I served you, or you have to leave.
And you've already won so many Michelin stars, you can say that.
But I don't have the ice cream shop that's demanding the dark chocolate every single time.
Yes.
And
no, it's like, for example, Mike, if you had an emerging brand that you just loved and you put on the shelves but no one purchased, you had a decision to make, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was the difference, is we had the autonomy, like, this is actually kind of what went wrong at the end. Like, they just started downloading Spence data and caring what everyone else cared. Like, that's not it. People came to Foxtrot for a point of view, right? And the point of view doesn't exist somewhere, because if it did, then it would be everywhere, right? And so you have to build a culture of, we always said, like, someone has to love it for it to be on the shelf. It doesn't mean that the 3 or 4 of us who pick products all have to love it, but someone has to be like, I love this thing, and it's going on the shelf, and that's it. That's good enough. It can go on. One person loves it, it's on. If after a month it doesn't sell, it's gone, right? So it's sort of, you have to have the non-formulaic, non-scientific risk-taking thing of just like, I saw this thing at the farmer's market, I was in a new neighborhood, this thing's incredible, we gotta get it on. But then, yeah, you can't be dogmatic about it, right? And that's why we also sell Oreos and Diet Coke, because turns out people love Oreos and Diet Coke, right? But like, having those staples there then gives freedom for when they haven't seen a new brand to like try, and it establishes that credibility. There's lots of fun fights about that at the end. And yeah.
Well, I know, I really appreciate you sharing that, because it's really the full spectrum for the Curtis Duffys of the world, who really lead from the heart and their artistic sensibility. And then you go all the way over to Luke and Mike, who have, yes, are leading from the heart in what they want to do, but they also have to measure it against what is coming back to them and what is the consumer saying. So it really is, there's both art and science on full display here.